Reverse this camera around here. There we go. You're on me now. I'm outside at Garage 81, where my magic happens. And I'm going to probably make a few more live videos. It's already getting dirty on that garage lip. I'm going to make a few more videos like this and show you guys what's going on. So, get some lighting going on in here. There we go. This is Garage 81, and I will probably take you on a short, quick tour. Get my sunglasses off here and turn the camera around. And Garage 81 is a nice, quaint little workshop where all the magic happens. There's my apron. Grab my work apron off here and don my work apron. And turn this around so I can get stuff going. And doing everything here one-handed is kind of tough. So I think this apron is going on with some bit of difficulty here. Always have a nice work outfit to work with here. There. Got my apron on. So, my update comes from the photo that I did yesterday, where I have a coffee table that I'm making. And this is my coffee table. Update from the coffee table that I made like 15 years ago with hardly any tools. And it's lasted this long, and I thought it would be a time to change it up and get something that looked a little bit nicer and a little bit different. So the coffee table that I am going to be building is a paneled box frame with a 5/4, turn this around again, with a 5/4 inch laminated pine top. And, you know, it's relatively inexpensive for all of the materials going into this project. I think right now I have about $100 in materials going into this, and that would consist of the pine frame, which these are the paneled fronts and backs, and then the sides are right here. I have those getting they're done getting dried, and then some of the other material I have left over. These are 1/2-inch Baltic birch panels that are going to be cut out in 4-inch strips and laid inside of these cavities right here. So I have to route out channels for that. I still have yet to buy the underside of the coffee table, where the bottom of the box is, and I'm going to pocket hole that into the bottom rail of the box frame here, of the paneling. And then once all that's done, then how you're going to access it is through this is going to be cut into 3 portions, and there's going to be a hinge in the center panel, and you're going to be able to lift the center panel up and get into the bottom of the table. So you're going to see this process progress through little pieces of through photographs and live video feeds like this, and you're going to see how this whole process is done. So right now the joinery is being done with dowel pins, which are right here. These are the dowel pins that I've used. That's how many I had to use right there. I used the biggest ones, and I used about 2 per joint for the dowel pins. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 16. Double that to 32, and then 2, 4, 8 more, 32. So I used 40 pins so far to put all of that framework together. So today is going to be, I'm going to use my router a lot. And some of the things that I'm going to be using for my router are, where are you? Okay, so I have a 3/16 round over bit that is going to be used to round over all the outside edges to kind of give it a smoother look. And then I am going to use this channel bit as a rabbiting bit. I'll put a ball bearing stopper up at the top from my hand router, and then I'm going to create all of the channels to which the panels will, those 1/2-inch panels will rest in, glue and pin those in place, and then we're pretty much on track for getting stuff done. The hinge is going to be between the layers, and I'm using a piano hinge, so between the top of the table and the rail. So I'm going to have to route out a channel on the rail to accept this hinge, which should be about 1/8 of an inch deep, to do all of that. And then I think yeah, I think we're good. I think we're ready to go. I'm kind of working at a deficit right now. I don't have some equipment that I wish that I had, which would be a table saw. I desperately need to get me a table saw. So for just simple rip cuts, I mounted a circular saw underneath my work table. And this is just a simple sheet of MDF that has been created an apron, and I rested it on some metal sawhorses. There's my saw there, and it gets plugged into an extension cord, and then I have a on-off switch that I've rigged up as my on-off, and then I use a level right there as my straight edge. I just measure from this edge of the blade and this edge of the blade to the fence, and it creates a parallel cut just about every time. The only thing is with something like this is that you have to make sure that you have enough material to do test cuts with, so that your fence is rigged up parallel. Let me get you raised up a little bit higher here so you're not looking up my nose. But other than that, I guess, yeah, on my list of things is a bench-mounted drill press and a table saw. Those are the main things that I really, really would like to get. Now, for those of you who are coming on here who are woodworkers and you want to have a nice little cheat for certain things. Let's say you are joining 2 butt ends of 3/4 inch board together, and you want to know where your extreme edges are for the board that's underneath that is butting up to the top. So you have your top plate here, you have your bottom sheet coming up here, and you want to know where to put your screws. This is a really cool jig that I created that works really well. Might have to redo that top a little bit though. But this is a 3/4 inch board that has a stopper on here. And what you do is, let's say you're joining a board that is 3/4 of an inch underneath, so the board will come up back like this. and you want to know where up here to place your screws, you can just simply put this up against the edge like that, and then draw your line all the way across. So you just hold your pencil down right across here, and you just pull this all the way across, and you draw a nice straight line. That's what I did right here to find my center line for this 1.5 inch board. So 1.5 plus 1.5, or 3/4 plus 3/4 equals 1.5. This is 3/4. So I just put this right up against there and drew my line, and now I have a center line for a 1.5 inch board drawn all the way across. That's a nice little cheating jig that you can create for woodworking that works very well. And as you can tell with this rudimentary rip cutting table saw that I created out of a circular saw, I also made a guide that this goes on the blade side, and then what they call a crow's foot guide, which goes in my other hand, and that will guide past the blade right here, keeps it up against the rail as I'm pushing through with that. So I am trying to maintain a rudimentary system of safety as I have this jerry-rigged ripping table saw made. The only thing that this thing doesn't come with is a riving knife, which goes on past the blade and keeps boards separate. Since most of the stuff that I'm going to be cutting right now is going to be plywood based and finished product wood, then I'm not really worried about a riving knife, because a riving knife keeps boards separate if there's any curl or snap back or anything like that from unevenly cured wood. And I really don't have an issue with that right now, so I'm not really worried about a riving knife. Another thing that this table saw really is not good for is cutting rabbet spaces, because as the blade goes down into the table, let me turn this back around again. As this blade lowers down into the table, it has a tendency of angling just slightly inward a little bit, because of the weight of the electric motor is on this side of the table. So it has a tendency for that blade to start twisting in towards the fence a little bit, giving me an uneven cut. So I really can't use this for anything other than just basic ripping right now. So if I need to have a large board ripped down, or a series of smaller boards ripped down to the same dimension, which I will be doing here soon, then that table saw configuration is going to work just fine. And it's really accurate too. So I'm going to get into this. I don't want these live videos to last very long. I just want to give you guys a little update as to projects that I am doing. And yeah, this coffee table side rail, or this is the front to the coffee table. The paneling is going to go into these holes next, so I have to create little rabbet spaces that are going to be about 1/2 inch deep, about 1/4 inch in depth. I got to take a lot of wood out, go all the way around on each one of these with that, and then set panels down inside, glue them and pin them in place, and then move on to the next portion, which is actually attaching the corners to the other corner. And these are actually like a two-part leg construction. So this is going to be a really sturdy base for a coffee table. I mean, as far as this construction goes, this is going to be really sturdy. I'm going to be quite pleased when it's done. So if you have any questions, or if you'd like to have your own personal piece made by Garage 81, just contact me through here and see what I can get made for you. And yeah, I think I'm going to clean up a little bit, and then I'm going to get right into it. There's a lot of stuff over here I have to like push out and clean up. I think I'm probably going to take a little bit of time and clean out this place. The wind really blew dust around a lot. So anyway, guys, thanks. Have a good day, and we will talk to you later at Garage 81.